right. 540 WFLA presents the 50,000-watt front porch. And another hour of Bud Hedinger Live.
And I guarantee you that our next guest on Bud Hedinger Live is chomping at the bit to respond to the Grayson attack ad here because he's on the receiving end of it. He is District 9 congressional candidate and Osceola County Commissioner, Republican John Quiñones, our next candidate for District 9, coming on Bud Hedinger Live here in advance of next Tuesday's primary. And, Commissioner, welcome aboard.
Thank you for having me on your show. Good morning. And I apologize for the voice. It's a little raspy. I've been walking and talking a lot these last few days. But
I understand that. I know what your voice normally sounds like, and I've had my voice on the fritz. And for your line of work and mine, that's not a good thing to happen, but we can hear you fine. Now, your reaction to the Grayson attack ads, and they have been all over the air on TV and radio, even though you're not even running against him yet.
Yeah, Mr. Hedinger, what we're seeing is Mr. Grayson is spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in the Republican primary. He's actually trying to influence the primary. He doesn't want to face my conservative record, a record that I've had since I served in the state legislature and now as a county commissioner. The majority of the district is actually in areas that I used to represent either in the House or now as a county commissioner.
Right, you're in Kissimmee.
I live in Osceola County. That's
right. And, you talk about your conservative record. I know you have an A rating from the NRA, a very solid pro-life record. All the Republicans are I think, pretty conservative, without question. Now, let me ask you in a moment exactly what distinguishes you from the rest of your Republican opponents here. But first of all, do you consider it a compliment in a strange sort of way that maybe a sign of respect that Grayson would select you for the pounding in these ads?
Well, it's interesting that he said he didn't want to go in your show in a primary when he's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to influence the primary. So, in a way, obviously, voters and primary voters are seeing through that. We're making sure. I've been on the phone making calls and walking door to door to make sure that my conservative message gets out there.
Well, let me ask you, what is your message to counter the charges, that you've been slapping taxes and fees on the people you represent for years, that you're a big tax guy?
Well, look, in the county commission, we have actually decreased taxes. We have slashed government by almost 20%. We eliminated impact fees. We're the only county in the region that eliminated impact fees. As a result, what we've seen in Osceola County is our commercial permits have tripled in the last year. Mr. Hedinger, I've been on the county commission for now, it's going to be almost 5 years. And twice I voted against a millage increase. I voted against the budget. But he doesn't say that. When I would see that the budget would be one where it would either increase government or increase taxes, I would not vote for it. The fact of the matter is we have decreased overall, we have decreased taxes, and I have voted against the budget when I felt it did not do the right thing.
So you could document that. Are you suggesting then that all of the charges against you as being a big tax guy are inaccurate on the part of Alan Grayson?
They're false. They're false, and he knows it. And so he's attacking my conservative record, trying to influence the primaries.
Now, let me ask you, what distinguishes you from your opponents in the primary, fellow Republicans Todd Long, Mark Oxner, and Julius Melendez? In this 40% Hispanic district, you and Melendez are the two Hispanic candidates here. Why should people vote for you as opposed to these guys?
Well, I know this district. Most of my adult life I've spent in the district. My family here, my children, my wife, my mother, my brother, this is home. And about 2/3 of the district I've represented either in Tallahassee or now as the county commissioner. And I have a record of holding the line on taxes, of balancing budgets, and I believe these are skills that are needed in Washington today. I'm a mediator by trade, so I know how to listen to both sides, but I know how to reach solutions, and that's what I've done throughout my career, either as a legislator or now as a county commissioner.
Right, and I did not mention that by profession you are an attorney, and you say a mediator as well. You were in the State House, now you're the Osceola County Commissioner. But I'll ask you the question I've asked some of these other candidates this week. If you get to Washington on the preeminent issue of the day, jobs and the economy, what is it you're going to fight for? What changes do you advocate?
Well, first and foremost, we do need to repeal Obamacare. I'm the only candidate that will say that straight up. We need to do it. We need to make sure that trillions of dollars in taxes that are going to be passed on to consumers, to business owners, is basically going to be a job killer, and it's going to continue to choke our economy. We need to, as you know, tens of thousands of IRS agents have been created just so we can monitor the Obamacare legislation, trillions of dollars of taxes. And so
now, obviously, there's no repealing Obamacare unless the Republicans get the Senate and Romney wins the White House. And I believe I've heard from some others running for this race that a priority for them would be repealing Obamacare. But let me ask you, what do you do about the multi-trillion-dollar deficits and $16 trillion in debt? Repealing Obamacare is not going to fix that problem. What is it you are willing to fight for in terms of spending cuts?
And yes, thank you. And we need to look at department after department that are, engaged in duplicity. Department of Education comes to mind.
I understand the efficiency in government issue with all due respect, yes, Commissioner, but we're talking trillions of dollars here. Everyone talks about nibbling around the edges with tightening things up, no duplicity, etc. But the bottom line is, somewhere along the way, the entitlements are going to have to be reformed, and some of them are going to have to be cut, and nobody wants to talk, even the conservatives, about taking anybody's quote-unquote free stuff. What's going to have to be cut, sir?
No. If you allow me, yes, we have to address the entitlements as well. Obviously, we do have seniors that are dependent, that already are in the system, and we don't want to take that away. However, people that are younger, my generation, obviously younger generations, absolutely, I would be all for putting the entitlements on the table, and making sure that we have more of a market-based solutions that will either eliminate entitlements or certainly not create new ones. And so we have to make sure that we not just incrementally grow based on existing entitlement, but we take some of the entitlements that we have now and we start reducing them.
I'll give you the last word before you run out of voice and I run out of time. Commissioner Quinones, why should people vote for you next Tuesday?
Thank you. Because I am the conservative choice in this race, because Alan Grayson knows that. That's why he's spending hundreds of thousands of dollars. As you said, I've been endorsed by the NRA. I'm 100% pro-life. I have a record that shows my conservative values. And so with your help, the voters of District 9, make sure that you go out this week and August 14th and vote for John Quiñones. My website is www.johnq4florida.com if you want to find out more information.
JohnQ4Florida.com. Thank you, John Quiñones, for coming on the show. Take care of that voice.